Hello and welcome to this edition of Rinkside Digest. I'm your host Kirk along with my co-host Snowburn, and in this video we've got some big events that happened last night in the NHL, as well as some news that broke today that I wouldn't say many people be a fan of. But before we get into this video, make sure to subscribe if you want to see all the content we're going to have throughout the year. It's going to be fun. And without any further ado, we're going to get into our first topic here, which is Jordan Binnington was suspended 2 games for some events last night that happened against the Minnesota Wild. Now, I mean, I'm sure most of you have seen it by this point, but this came out today by NHL Player Safety. St. Louis Jordan Binnington has been suspended for 2 games for roughing/unsportsmanlike conduct on Minnesota's Ryan Hartman. Now, I mean, we don't have the video, but this is one of the events that happened, and this is the other. I mean, it's Jordan Binnington up to his normal antics. It's not the first time we've seen him do it, and I'm certain it won't be the last either. I'm not sure if you've seen it, no, but what do you think about what you've seen from all these people on Twitter?
Oh my God. I was up late last night kind of scrolling through Twitter, and I seen a couple videos of Binnington kind of going nuts. I mean, I'm kind of blown away this guy hasn't been suspended sooner. I mean, we've seen how many times he's acted out, and he's kind of went on about his own little antics, and I'm kind of blown away he hasn't been suspended sooner. I mean, I'm also kind of blown away that it was only 2 games. I mean, he kind of karate chopped Hartman where the sun doesn't shine. I guess that's the best way of putting it. So I mean,
straight into the teeth.
Yeah, that's wild. No pun intended there, actually. But
and I also have a list of the times I've seen that I can note of his tempers flaring. Which, I mean, just hold on now. I'll read this out because it's not a short list. It's versus Dallas again with Jamie Benn, against the Kings with Kyle Clifford. In the AHL, he fought Phoenix Copley. Against San Jose, which was, I believe, it was either this year or late last year, he fought the whole team, or tried to. And then last night against Minnesota with Hartman, and then a potential fight against Fleury. Like, this guy's just off his rocker. It's ridiculous. A suspension, I understand now that it's 2 games, I guess, because he is a repeat offender, but he's never actually been suspended, I don't believe. Mm-hmm. So I can always see it going up again if it happens. He's on the radar now of the NHL.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's going to happen again. It's just a matter of time when, not if. But yeah.
I'm going to...
Okay.
I don't know if this is kind of the right thing to say, but there's kind of a part of me that kind of likes it a little bit, because it generates a little bit of buzz, it gets people talking, you'll see on ESPN like a nation that isn't really a hockey favorited kind of nation. They'll probably post it up on their misplays of the month or whatever they usually do. So I mean, it in a sense, it kind of grows the game a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
I haven't seen it really since Ron Extall. So
yeah,
it's different seeing a goalie go and doing that now. I mean, with Binnington, you expect it before you don't. Yeah. So yeah. And with our second story here, we have Evgeny Kuznetsov controversial shootout goal. Now, this is something as well that happened last night. Most have probably seen it or at least heard something about it. And once again, I don't have a video of it, but I will just post a screenshot of mid-shootout. The puck is on the blue line, and he is on the Capital One logo by the bench. And this is, I believe, I'm not positive, I have no sources on this, but I've seen that it was one of the longest shootout attempts, time-wise, in NHL history. From the point he touched the puck to when the puck went in the net, because it was a goal, it was 12 seconds. And I've seen a lot of people complaining that they don't like it. I mean, Kuznetsov it's not his first time doing this again either. He's one of the people that do this all the time. Takes a long time to go slow to the net for a big build-up, and then usually scores on it. I can't say I'm a fan of it either. It's just, you see guys who come down, it'll take them 3 seconds to get the net and to get a shot off, and that's it. The goalie don't have any time to do anything. I like that, but I mean, taking 12 seconds, that's just... I think there is a time limit. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I can't see it being really any longer than 20 seconds. And Kuznetsov was almost halfway there. So yeah, I do think the time should probably get lowered if there is a time limit.
Yeah.
It's there's no really need to make a shootout that long. Or eliminate the shootout as a whole. I'd be okay with that as well. What do you think?
Yeah, it kind of slows the game down, I mean, say what you want about the shootout. The shootout's been criticized over the couple of years, but I think it slows it down so much, in the say, you got your guys doing your fancy little deeks. I know, speaking as a Habs fan, I know Nick Suzuki is famous for doing the little Datsuk flip. So I'm personally a fan of the shootout, but if I had a guy taking almost 20 seconds, it slows it down, and I don't think it's good for the game. You know, yeah, I don't think it's good for the game. I really don't.
No, I agree with you. And I've seen people complaining as well about passing to himself. I mean, I don't mind that. The puck was going forward. The puck never stopped and never went backwards. So, I mean, I guess it was fully legal. There was nothing wrong with it.
I guess so.
It was just super long, which, I mean, I can understand why some people don't like it. But
yeah,
it is in the rules. Use it when you can use it. If it works for you, and it's worked from the past, so, I mean, you can't really argue it until the rules changed. So that's really all we can say about that. Not much else to give to it when it's all about the rules. So that's pretty much all you can do with it. And with our third and final story here, we have a major QMJHL rule change that's going to start next season. Now, there's a lot of people who I can see are not going to be fans of this. I'll just pull it up. The QMJHL plans to ban fighting starting next season. Now, this one, I can see this is going to stir a bit of conversation within the hockey community, because they, like, from minor hockey, to take a perspective, a couple years ago, across at least Canada, for I know, they banned checking in minor hockey, which that also kind of got the same reaction this news broke today. And now the QMJHL is banning fighting. I don't think this should be the case in this level of hockey, because these guys are just one step away from making it to the NHL. So in your first game, you might run someone the wrong way, someone might take offense to it. That player could be Ryan Reeves, and this kid has never fought in his life. There's nothing they're going to be able to do to it. You're going to have like Tom Wilson, Ryan Reeves, Marcus Foligno, just name a few. It shouldn't be banned. You have to give those kids experience against people their own age before one of these guys come up to you in an NHL setting, because most of these guys in the queue are going to take that next step to the NHL, AHL. They're going to be in professionals, whether even if it's in Europe. It don't matter. It's still going to be that level of competition of those guys. So not giving the kids the experience in that situation when they're going to get used to it there, it shouldn't be banned, I don't think. I mean, and I also have another rule of what will follow up if a fight happens. The office of the Quebec Sports Minister said the QMJHL should eject any fighter from the game and suspend them for the next game following the fight. I'm not sure if this one is finalized, what it will be, but, I mean, I guess that you can still fight, but get a suspension, that will...
Is it worth it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're probably going to get scolded by your coach if you do that. In a certain situation, it could be the playoffs. Someone could run your goalie, and you're not allowed to fight him. I think that should be a part of every level of the game, like, once you clear minor hockey. It don't matter what level it is, but past minor hockey, I think it should be all acceptable. And, checking should be allowed in minor hockey as well, because that same thing follows up to the next step to junior hockey. If you go to junior hockey, you're going to get hit. It's a given fact. If you haven't gotten hit in that level of hockey, you're playing the wrong sport. So,
for sure.
What do you think, Noah?
I mean, there's one guy in particular, and I know it's going to sound a little bit biased, being a Habs fan, but look at a guy like Herbert Jacki. Went undrafted, won't light it up offensively, won't wow you with his offensive skill, but he kind of made a name for himself playing that gritty physical presence, fighting guys left, right, and center, and that's kind of how he got noticed by the Habs. And he's been playing before he got, I think he's injured for the season now, but even like he was playing like 15 minutes a night for the Habs. Like it's those guys that don't shine offensively and don't put the puck in the back of the net. There needs to be another way for those guys to kind of have a segue into the NHL, and I think fighting is the perfect way to do that.
Yeah.
And I know people will argue there's no place in fighting in hockey, and the game has changed, it's a fast and that, but I like the argument you made there about saying, what if somebody runs your goalie, and what are you going to do, sit there and not do anything about it and just give them there's no consequences. There needs to be physical presence in hockey, and I think they got to figure out a way how to do that.
Yeah, it has to be a workaround in some way. Like, whether you may be like, I don't understand the suspension next game. I understand that you're trying to enforce the rule.
For sure, yeah.
But then people would be afraid to, like, take a hit, give a hit, just in case it starts something. You don't want to get suspended. So I just don't understand. And I see a lot of people say, the minor hockey is different now than junior hockey is different now than what it was. Like, now you have guys like Connor Bedard who just walk around you. But then think about him. When he gets to the NHL, someone has to protect him. And someone will need to protect him in junior as well. Like, everybody has that one skilled player that you don't want to get injured. Someone hits him the wrong way, someone got to go after who hit him. It's just part of hockey. It's been like that forever.
Yep, absolutely. It's past our time, but it was McSorley with Gretzky, like he was out there anytime Gretzky was out on the ice, right? And it's just, that's kind of like an unwritten rule in the NHL, and it's something that needs to be always in the game. And I know, like I said, I'm going to go back and say that, you got guys like Trevor Zegras who are some of the fastest players you've seen in the league, and, there's no place for fighting. But there still needs to be a physical presence in the game.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's just it's too much of a change. It's like from junior to the NHL now, it will be a major change. Well, QMJHL specifically. I'm not sure if the other leagues, the WHL and the OHL, will make this change as well. I hope not, but you'll definitely see a huge difference, I think, if the game hasn't changed as much by then, since when the kids come up. But I mean, if you got guys like Reeves still in the NHL by that time, you certainly will see that difference. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this new rule in any means. I can understand it in a way, but in the same way, I don't. I mean, yeah. That's all we have for this video, guys. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the video, because we're going to be posting a lot more throughout the year, off-season, the big events, the draft coming up soon as well. So we're going to have some rankings and stuff like that, and we got free agents. Yeah, so that's it. If you like it, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching.